So I hope you've enjoyed this series of videos on creating calculations and measures using DAX, data analysis expression, which is, as you now know, a formula language. Now, just in summary, use measures to carry out calculations. Anything that's an aggregate or a ratio or a percentage, generally you should be using measures and not calculated columns to create dynamic and responsive aggregate functions that can be used as filters in your visualizations. Also, the second point I'd make is use time intelligence with a date table. You may have noticed that we created a table called dim date, which is really dedicated just to giving us dates information. Always have a separate and distinct date table in your data model to simplify the filtering of data by date. You don't want to have to use date fields that reside sporadically in different tables and relate to that table's data only. Use an independent date table. And you could even create one using the calendar function we looked at or the calendar auto function that we looked at. As far as formatting, always format a measure once you develop that measure for consistency across all your visualizations. It will save you having to format the measure each time you add it to a visualization. Instead, make the format part of the measure. Calculate measures and columns using DAX. It is a very good language. It's able to be documented, as you see, with the 2 slashes. It's able to reside on multiple lines. So write DAX like you'd write code, nice and clear. And lastly, the last thing I'd impart is avoid any data transformation steps in your DAX. Data transformation and cleansing really should be carried out by Power Query. DAX is really just to carry out calculations and give you results. I hope you've enjoyed this series of questions. I'm Kathy Barker and this is Software Solutions.